The weather continued to whip across the region, with not only damaging winds, but rain, hail, and at the top of the valley, snow. There were continual reports of buildings, trees, electricity lines and roads that were severely damaged, evacuations and rising water levels in most areas. One image that is permanent is of a huge bulk carrier on Nobby's Beach. Just after 9 on Friday morning, listeners rang 1233's Garth Russell describing a ship struggling in the dangerous conditions only metres off one of the city's iconic beaches.
What are the ships doing?
We've been watching one for about half an hour. It's been struggling ever since, been at all angles, and it's obviously labouring.
See blokes on the deck, mate. I can see a gentleman standing outside on the deck. So somebody better get down there and have a look. Nose is starting to point towards the shoreline again.
Okay, so you're sensing they might be in a bit of trouble?
I think they might be. I really do.
Move on and talk to Dave Edwards. He's the president of the Nobby's Surf Club. Dave, what can you see?
Yes, Garth, she's running aground at the back of Nobby's Reef, coming right on the beach. She's only about 150 to 200 metres away from the shore now. It looks like a coal carrier or a grain carrier. She's getting washed ashore right now on the back of Nobby's Reef. The beach inspectors now have started to run to get their gear. Waves are now breaking over the ship, sideways over the ship, and it's now about 75 metres away from the shore.
So it's moved that quickly in that time?
Yes, it's like a cyclone up here, Garth.
Gee, okay.
She's trying to pull her nose into the wind, but it ain't going to work, mate. She's already beached.
Absolutely on the rocks and stuck.
Yeah, she's beached, mate.
Hi, Andrew, you're on the spot.
Mate, the ship's called the Pasha Bulker, and it's getting absolutely belted at the moment. It's an amazing sight. The ray coming right over the top of this huge tanker. It's just incredible, and the crowd's starting to build. I've got to be honest with you, the news is getting out. It's an amazing sight. It's as dangerous as it is, it's almost spectacular.
Making news this morning, 3 rescue helicopters are on standby to evacuate people off a freight ship in trouble in heavy seas off the coast of Newcastle this morning.
Our initial concerns are for the crew are on board. There are 18 Filipino seafarers and 2 Koreans.
So 20 on board. This is going to be a hairy exercise.
Oh, it's very, very precarious, and these seafarers know the dangers of it. They spent years on these ships, but they've threatened to jump over the side because they're that concerned about what's going to happen. Rather than being broken up onto rocks and washed out in that ocean, they've threatened to jump, and so it's really made the urgency for the evacuation of the ship.
2 rescue helicopters just touched down. The wind is very, very strong. They've done an amazing effort in managing to land here in such blustery conditions.
The first of the rescue choppers is about to take off to go out to the ship and try and lift up some of the 22 Filipino crew. The second of the choppers, as I speak, is just powering up as well. There are 2 television choppers, including our very own ABC Squirrel, now hovering over the Pasha Bulker. These very, very brave men on board these rescue choppers, as we understand, 2 will be lowered down onto the deck of the Pasha Bulker. They will assist in helping the crewmen to come up into the choppers, and they will relay between the 2 rescue choppers between the car park and the ship. I can't stress to you how strong the wind is down here on the beach. There is an air of anticipation here as the crews limbered up. They actually did their stretching exercises before they got into the chopper, Carol.
Of course they did.
They're in their frog suits. They've actually got snorkels as well. Trouble also with the Pasha Bulker is that it is being bombarded with massive seas. I don't know whether you can hear the chopper as it takes off now and heads towards. They're going to have to make sure that they time it so that the seas are not impeding them as well as they break across the deck. Lights are on. There are 2 television choppers in the way. We've just been told that we need to relay, if we can, to our chopper that it needs to move from the area. The Westpac chopper is moving across the decking of the Pasha Bulker, and again it hovers. This is amazing as another massive wave crashes over the decking. It can only be 20 metres directly above the deck as we speak. The skill of the pilots of these choppers is they'd have to be now within 15 feet as the door to the side of the chopper opens. The chopper is being buffeted, but amazingly, it's staying on course. But I have to say the rain has stopped as the first of the rescuers is being slowly lowered out the side, and he is dangling out of the rescue chopper towards the decking now. He has one arm out.
One by one, the 21 Filipino crew are being winched off the bulk carrier by rescue helicopter. The operation is extremely hazardous as the helicopter hovers over the vessel. It's being buffeted by cyclonic winds, heavy rain, and huge waves continue to break over the deck.
It's only about 20 metres from the shoreline. One of the council beach inspectors, Bernie is his name, he's doing this amazing job on the jet ski, just keeping near as he can to the ship. He's there, I should imagine, in the capacity if anyone falls off or anything happens, he's there to rescue them by sea.
As you speak to me, I've just had 2 of the crew members walk past me. Everybody is well and fine. I got a quick word with one of the crew earlier, and they said it's okay, just scary was the one word that he said.
That's the understatement of the morning. Are you aware of how many crew members have been retrieved from the vessel?
All of them.
They are all off the vessel.
As far as I know, all are safe and sound, and the crew of the Westpac helicopter, this is the biggest job that they've ever done. And he said all the training that they've done for many years, has paid off.
After the crew's dramatic rescue in treacherous conditions, the Pasha Bulker became the city's newest attraction. Salvage investigators confirmed that the outer shell of the ship's double hull had been breached and was taking on water. Creases in the hull were also visible on both sides. Despite the risks, it was decided to press ahead with the salvage. While the first 2 attempts moved the ship for the first time, they were hampered when cables snapped. On the 3rd attempt, after 26 days grounded on the reef, the 76,000-tonne Pasha Bulker was finally freed. On the high tide at about 9:30 p.m. on the 2nd of July 2007, a sea anchor and 3 tugs, including the super tug Pacific Responder, rotated the ship towards deep water, towing her off and out to sea.
Just a tremendous feeling to see it just slide off that reef. It's done so quietly. It's just ecstatic to see it's moving, so the guardians of the beach get their beach back.
It's just an amazing sight after all these weeks to look down on Nobby's beach and it's gone, and to see it moving out to sea in one piece, it's just the most amazing sight to behold, and there are plenty of smiling faces here on
Offshore, the ship was assessed for damage. Along with propeller and rudder damage from the salvage, the ship also suffered from a buckled hull and a flooded ballast tank. Minor repairs were conducted in Newcastle harbour before being towed to Asia for further repairs. In April 2008, the Pasha Bulker was renamed MV Drake.